time to eavesdrop.
20 years ago, the story collection The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fist Fight in Heaven marked Sherman Alexie as one of the country's finest and funniest storytellers. Today we overhear him read from his new collection Blasphemy, a story called Protest.
My friend Jimmy was a pale Indian, though all of his brothers and sisters were dark. You might have wondered if Jimmy's real father was a white guy. Some tribal members did wonder, but Jimmy had the same widow's peak cowlick as his browner siblings. When he was little and living on the res, other Indians called him Salt or Vanilla or Snow White, so yeah, he was insecure about his pigment, but Jimmy pretended to embrace it. He insisted on being called White Eagle Feather, or Eagle for short. But you don't get to give yourself an Indian name, so most people ignored his wishes and still called him Jimmy. I was his best friend, so I called him Eagle once in a while, but I usually called him Ego. Jimmy and I were studying auto repair and planned on opening a garage after we graduated. It was a small dream, I guess, but Jimmy acted like it was a super traditional Indian thing. "A car won't be a car after we work on it," he said. "It won't have horsepower. It will be a powerful horse." It happens all the time in the Indian world. But Jimmy's transformation was sadder than most. He became a community college rebel and started showing up to auto repair class shirtless and barefoot. "Shoes were invented by the white man," he said. "Come on, Ego," I said. "I like shoes. Everybody likes shoes." He got all weird and fundamental, challenging any white man in a uniform, security guards, cops, and firemen. He gave crap to postal workers. "Damn them," he said, "and their damn Nazi shorts." While running along the Spokane River, he spotted a sheriff's cruiser and flipped off the two cops inside. One cop leaned out and shouted, "Go, dog, go!" Jimmy wanted to be taken seriously. He wanted to be feared. So he ran up to the cop car and kicked the driver's door. Then he kicked it again. The cops scrambled out their seats, chased and tackled Jimmy. "You racist bastards," Jimmy yelled at the confused cops. They thought he was just another white trash Hilliard redneck. A few hours later, Jimmy called me from jail. "I've started a resistance movement. I am not bailing you out." "Don't want bail," he said. "I'm a political prisoner." "You're a loser is what you are." The day after that, the television told me that a cop had shot and killed a homeless Indian named Harold in downtown Spokane. He had a knife, the cop said. A carving knife, we learned, about 3 inches long. The murdered Indian, Harold, trying to reconnect with his culture, had been taking carving lessons at the Indian Center. He came from a tribe that made totem poles. They made canoes. Most of the tribe drank. Some drank themselves to death. He had a threatening look on his face, the cop said. I knew Harold a little bit. Every Indian pretty much knows every other Indian. Harold wasn't an angry man. That was his face. I phoned Jimmy to talk about the shooting, but I got his voicemail. "Damn it," I said. "Indians are still prey animals, ain't it? When are they going to stop shooting at us?" I was so mad at the world that I had to make a joke. "You see, Ego," I said, "looking as white as you can be is a good thing. Ain't no cop going to shoot you because he thinks you're an angry redskin." Later, I realized it had been a terrible thing to say, so I called him back and apologized to his machine. A few days after that, I called and apologized to his machine again. After a few months of silence, I called him, but his phone was disconnected. I never heard from him or of him again. Jimmy's last act was to disappear, and that was probably the most Indian thing he had ever done.
Writer Sherman Alexie reading the story Protest from his anthology Blasphemy. It's out this week. And you're listening to The Dinner Party from American Public Media.